Hey, Frank, I'm Ahearn, privacy expert and author of How to Disappear. So, if you don't know about me, I disappear people. I wrote the book How to Disappear, and one of my strengths happens to be creating extreme privacy. Now, the truth of the matter is, most people who contact me about disappearing will never disappear. The truth of the matter is, most people who want to disappear are not capable of disappearing. And, I don't mean to punch holes in somebody's dreams or, what they want to do, but often individuals will contact me and they're focused on the disappear. How do I get from point A to point B? And they're not asking themselves the question of, are they capable of being a disappeared person? And what I mean by that is, no matter where you move to in the world, you have to survive. Now, meaning, do you have money to disappear to get you from here to there? Do you have money saved so you can exist a little while to, before you can figure out what you're doing with yourself and, pay rent, food, the normal things we pay in life? The other thing is, are you capable of making an income? I mean, listen, if you got a ton of money stashed in the bank, that's great. But most people who plan to disappear do not. And they might have some seed money, a couple of grand, whatever it may be, but you can't live on that. So you have to ask yourself, are you capable of earning money? Because if you can't, you're just going to be, broke X amount of months later, and you're going to find yourself in a situation where you're going to have to go back home. And that might not be the best situation for you. So when you're thinking about a disappearance, one of the most important things to consider is how you will earn. Do you have a particular talent where you disappear to and can, work that talent and earn some money and, do it in a discreet fashion where nobody could trace you? Do you have an online business that is just totally protected and separate of your identity, maybe in a corporation, whatever structure it is? Because if you're not bringing money in, you're just not living. As simple as that. So take time and ask yourself, are you capable of being a disappeared person? Think about medical. Do you have a particular medical issue? Is there something, going on in your life where, you have to be in a particular area because of medical, or, are you okay? But also consider the fact or the question of, when you're gone, if something happens to you, do you have the ability to get proper health care? So think about the everyday human needs before you go. What are your needs in that, that afterlife of being a disappeared person? And, you'll come to realize that, planning a disappearance is not so much about the act itself, but it's about existing as a disappeared person and, making money, being able to socialize, being healthy, acclimating in a place, building a life. Are you capable of building a life? And I mentioned in one of my other videos about, where can you vanish to? That's really important. Where are you going? Can you live there legally? Can you, become a resident, a citizen? Can you acclimate and socialize? Is there a language barrier? So there's a lot of questions to ask yourself. And if you want the best help, you should pick up my book, The How to Disappear Journal, because it has a bunch of questions, and like 70-something questions that you need to answer before you pick up and go. Because if you don't solve these problems before you get there, you're going to face a whole lot of problems, and it's going to make life worse for you. So don't get surprised, 6 months from now, have the answers that you need. With that said, be safe, and if you need help disappearing, reach out.